she had ever been proud of this country. I was raised to judge a man by his heart. It's taught in this book, and I don't think your heart's in the right place. You talk about 8 years of George Bush, 8 years of George Bush. Let me tell you what happened to Mr. Bush. Hillary Clinton, Ted Kennedy, Al Gore, John Edwards, Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein, they all said that Saddam Hussein was a danger and that he had weapons of mass destruction, as well as did the French, the Israelis, the Germans, the Russians, all of those security agencies. There's someone practicing their freedom to keep and bear arms. They're squirrel hunting probably, God bless them. They all said that Saddam Hussein was a danger to not only this country, but countries around the world. He said himself that he had weapons of mass destruction. Every one of those people, if you go back and look, Al Gore said that he was dangerous. Hillary Clinton said that he had weapons of mass destruction. And then we get hit on 9/11. We lose 3,000 fine Americans in a Sunday punch. If you don't know what a Sunday punch is, listen to Toby Keith's song. That's when you're not looking, but you put trust enough in the other guy to turn your back. We turned our back and we were hit, but we should have known it was coming. We should have seen it. I mean, how many times have we been hit? We got hit in Beirut. We lost a bunch of Marines. The USS Cole. I could go on and on and on. The reason Saddam was still in Iraq is because a Democratic Congress, all they would do is give George Bush Sr. the right to remove him from Kuwait. They would not give him the authority to go on and take him out of power. And that's why he's still there. So we got hit. Saddam Hussein was financing homicide bombers. You can call it suicide if you want. It's murder. Murder bombers is what he was financing. Giving Palestinian families $30,000 if one of their kids went and blew themselves up. Now that's really a good book to learn that out of. That sounds like some of the crap that Reverend Wright has been teaching. He also had fuselages where he could teach them about planes and how to take over a plane and stuff. He was a bad man. He had violated every single sanction that the United Nations had put in. What a bunch of gutless wonders, you know. The United Nations can't even keep the killing from going on down in Rwanda and Somalia and all that. We need the United Nations out of here, Mr. Obama. We don't need to hug up with them. The war needed to be done, but I also have problems with George Bush. One of the problems I have is, Mr. Obama, you've probably never been in a fight. I don't know if you're ever in a schoolyard fight, a barroom fight, or any kind of fight, but you don't go in and just go pushing each other back and forth. You go in swinging, and you go in fighting hard. That's what we did in World War I, and that's what we did in World War II. And we won that thing by blood and guts. We went in there trying to keep from offending anyone or making anyone mad and having that fuzzy feeling, and we let a bunch of soldiers go, a bunch of elite Republican Guard. They come back and they're blowing up our soldiers and everything else. The surge should have taken place at the very first. That's what I thought was talked about when they said shock and awe. The surge, I think, was shock and awe for these terrorists. We have to continue after these terrorists. They will come after us. They don't read the same book. I don't have a problem voting for a black man. I could vote for J.C. Watts. Colin Powell was on my list until he endorsed you, Mr.